Hey guys, this is CrapHunter and welcome to another video for GDTV. This week we're going to be having a look at Bionic Dues. Bionic Dues, created by the video game company Arsene, or Arken, depending on how you pronounce it, famous for their titles AI War Command and Valley Without Winds 1 and 2. This game is a 2D RPG turn-based game which has the fictitious setting, or is set in a fictitious town sometime in the future. I assume so, because you have that. And the story of the game is that there's been a robot rebellion, and you've got 12 million civilians trapped in this city, and your objective is to go into this city, blowing up strategic targets, assassinating higher-ranking robots, and generally causing a hell for them, because you've only got 50 days to do so before they all come along and attack your main HQ. Now, the reason why there's also a bit of a 50 days of tense moments is because not only do you have the threat of the robots, but you also have the threat of your overlords, because they state that if you fail to defend the city will be nuked. That's a lot of faith in you, isn't it? Don't send the army in or anyone to try and help. Just you or a nuke. I mean, okay, fair enough. So anyway, so the purpose of this game is, over the course of 50 days, is for you to fight your way through the town, upgrade your suit, giving it fancy pants equipment, and then eventually on the 50th day, if you've done well, the battle should be relatively easy for you, and you should be able to have some good old-fashioned fun on it. Now with this game, for me at least, and I'll be honest with you, I don't often play games like this. This actually is probably the first time I've played a modern 2D scrolling game, and it's not bad. It's quite a surprise to me. I thought it was going to be dull, boring, and annoying, but it's actually turned out to be quite a nice game. So, what are the first few features that you'll notice before you go into the game? Well, obviously, you can no doubt tell that the list of games, wins, losses, and top score indicate that this game expects you to come back and play it a lot. Yes, it does indeed. This game is telling me a lot that it's one of those games which you come back to a lot. Its replayability factor is set to max, and I'm not too fussed on replayability. If I enjoy the game enough, I will more than happily play through the campaign again on multiple occasions, but I have to have a very good reason. But that's just me. And the other things you'll notice, of course, is the achievements. Now, the achievements in this game are quite simple in the sense that you can pretty much, all you have to do is complete the game in certain aspects. One of them being either in difficulty, sometimes they're in either you can playing as a certain commander, or you can be doing it utilizing certain exosuits. Also, if we go to the settings mode, because if you guys are curious about this thing, this is quite like a you have an ability to change the playback speed. For any of you guys out there who are a little bit concerned about graphics, they not have the highest end computer systems, this game is pretty much perfect for you. Pretty much the game for graphics wise, no problems at all, unless you're utilizing a Windows 95. Because this game only goes to Windows XP. I am so sorry, Windows 95 users. I think it's about time you upgraded. Just saying. Yeah, so if you have a lower end computer which does suffer from problems, then you have the ability to disable certain aspects of the game, which is quite nice. Also you get to set graphical screen, so it goes all the way to 800 and 600, so this game most certainly is customizable to whoever has what kind of computer, or laptop even. You've also got the stereotypical musical audio. The music here, the menu music is slightly annoying, but also the music is. You have to kind of be careful when you're setting your music, because you think at one you can barely hear it, but if you put it up to say here, oh my God, it's loud! So you have to set it very low, otherwise you're going to end up being deafened by this woman singing. And then you've got your extra features, basically a special unlock code. Then you've got other stuff like preventing camera movement, targeting lasers, bootstrapping hints, all that sort of stuff. So this is the selection screen. In this selection screen you have the option of choosing from 6 different exosuits to take with you into the campaign. Now, before we go on, I'm just going to highlight one of the biggest cons for this game. there isn't really a tutorial-based level that teaches you how to utilize these suits, how to play the game in a sense. Just there isn't any dedicated sort of right before you go into the campaign. Here's a tutorial level to get you familiar with all the things, like all the used robots, or what they do, how you can fight them, all that. There is nothing. You have to basically figure it out for yourself and read the text. Now, for me, I think that this is probably the worst part of the game, because when I first started, I had little to no idea what I was doing, and I kind of just guessed how to play through the game. And for me, I'd say that's quite a low point. I mean, not like one that breaks the game, because obviously it's, you know, okay, you have to spend time learning about it, but that's pretty much the worst part of this game for you. It doesn't let you know how to play the game, doesn't give any kind of tutorial system, and for some people, just going mindlessly around shooting robots is fun, but if you don't really know what they're for, kind of defeats the purpose of the enjoyment factor. For me, that's all I'm going to say on that one. But apart from that, though, another thing, this game is very heavily text-based. Now, I'm not a major complainer on text. I don't mind reading text. Hell, I happily sat through, when I was playing other games, I could happily sit through for hours reading through different types of text, just to, you know, to get the story or to have an understanding. But for other players out there, you may find this to be quite boring, so just to let you know, there are lots of text bits. But anyway, let's get back onto the different exosuits. So these are the 4 exosuits that you have, but also you have a selection of 2 others as well. So in total you have 6 to choose from, and in these you can kind of fit a play style into what you want. So for example, like myself, I like the assault, the siege, the sniper, and the science. And these things kind of, if you can imagine this game was Team Fortress 2, the name kind of tells you what, pretty much, the name tells you what it's for. The assault, it's the guy who goes in all guns blazing, killing shit and having fun. The siege is the heavy. He's got the big guns and he blows shit up for you, and has the ability to annihilate groups of bots in a single shot, as it says there. Then you've got the sniper, the ability to kill dudes from far away. Then you've got the science dude, who has the ability to hack into terminals or locked doors to help you get nice loot from the battlefield. So all of this is pretty awesome. But you also have a selection of other stuff, like the ninja. Pretty much he's the stealth dude. He just blows stuff up, but in a really secret manner. He can sneak around, and also immune to splash damage. No problems at all like that. And he has the ability to get close up to the enemy to do some awesome sneaky hacking stuff. So, you know, that's pretty awesome as well. Then of course you've got your brawler. This is the guy who runs up, beats the crap out of the enemy, then promptly runs away before they bring any arms to bear on him. But for me, I find that the science, siege, assault and sniper, for my own personal taste, that's perfect for me. You also have a selection of 6 commanders, each of which has their own special ability. For example, Axis has the ability to see multiple objectives and missions and go to them when where her other commanders would only see one in the campaign map. That can be quite helpful. Or for example, someone like Emma, she has the ability to get your parts and sell parts, get your parts cheaper and sell your parts for a fair amount of money, which is pretty handy, especially if you want to get the better parts earlier on. But for me, my personal favourite is the guy known as Genji. Reasons why: he gives you the best suits earlier on. Thumbs up to him, because that's awesome. Yes, but just because, also just to let you know, you can actually upgrade your suit, your exo, whilst you're playing through. So you don't have to, it's not like Genji is the only guy who has these suits. You can also upgrade them to become epic, but with this character, his special ability is that you're already epic when you start the game. Let's go to the difficulties now, shall we? The difficulties is pretty much, for a replay factor, like you could expect. You've got the very easy to the very hard. Also, you can see all the little stats there showing what kind of stuff, what kind of manufacturing side of it is. You know, pretty simple stuff, really. After you see this, you get the picture. You can either want to have it really easy or really hard. Another little feature which I kind of like, but I will never do, is the Iron Man version. Basically, Iron Man forces you to play through the game without saving. If you do save, then then if you do save, then you exit the game. So if you want to go completely through, no problems, no issues, charge, pardon me, straight on through, then that'll be that's for you. But of course, you only have to enable it, then you can get through it. So let's start the game now and have listen to the campaign map, dude.
The city's under attack by bot forces. Just launched a surprise bombing run against our main hangars. Destroyed all our exos save for the 4 you had with you on the training grounds. You're practically still a trainee, but you're the last exo pilot we have. Our intel says you've got 50 days before the bots attack our headquarters en masse. Weaken them and strengthen yourself before that time comes, and then be prepared to fight them off our doorstep. If you fail, and failure's likely, then our friendly corporate owners will invoke their amputation clause. In other words, they'll nuke the city to keep the bot rebellion from spreading. You know well as I do that evacuation is impossible. The other cities are just as full as this one, and even the shelters are overflowing with the needy. You've got 12 million lives in your hands, including mine and your own, so get to it.
I'm Morgan Freeman. Thank you for listening. Anyway, so yeah, there was the introduction to the game, and there's another little tutorial. Well, I say tutorial, it text tutorial. So that's pretty much it when it comes to telling you what to do and how to do it. Now, of course, I'm not saying it's completely useless. It does tell you how to play the game. It does give you an informative manner to it. But I would personally state that, I would say also for newbies like myself to this game, I would say a dedicated level at least to show you how this all works, perhaps, may be a best way to put it in. But anyway, so this is the map, as you can tell. There is your objective, there is your HQ, surrounded by multiple objectives. Another little feature, though, that I like about this game is it sets you, whenever you start a campaign, it sets you in different sections of the city. For example, when I first started, I was sort of way down here, in the throngs of the city, and now that I've started again, after a couple, I tried it a couple of times. I was down here, then I was about over here, and now that I've done it over here, I'm all the way up to the north part of the city. So it's quite nice, actually. I quite like that feature. The replayability factor once again comes on through, which is quite pleasant. So let's have a look at the customization part, probably the key aspect to this game. So as it says here, you get loot from winning missions and hacking doors and exploring behind them. You can also, so basically you can customize your exosuit to suit your playstyle between missions. And getting onto the final battle is only half the challenge. You will need creativity and design to get there. So basically what this game is pretty much, this game pretty much gives you the option to do whatever the hell you want with your suit, and I quite like that. I like it when video games give you that option to say, right, you can go over here, do what the hell you like, and then if you live, then well done, great choice. If you don't, well, you know, for next time. And that's pretty much the case for this game. Well, for the campaigns in this game. Now, the other thing which I wasn't too pleased about, this kind of links back to the tutorial setting, but it's not as bad, is when it comes to utilizing this, utilizing customization. What I wasn't aware of during my first attempted playthrough, and then when I started looking at it even in more detail, I started to notice it more, was stuff like the power usage when applying upgrades. Because even though upgrading a vehicle should take no problems at all, it actually consumes power. Also, you can see here, consumes 10 power, minus 2 power needed by parts in the same system. So what this basically means is you have these varieties of upgrades take power away from your suit, which if you didn't know to go over here, you wouldn't know about that. I mean, admittedly, when I first started playing, I just wanted to have a little bit of a go, play around. But when you go into this for the first time and you're like, oh, okay, let's give it a go, have a little fun, do this, do that. If you don't go down to manually find out how this thing works, it doesn't actually tell you. So, a little bit more details perhaps into that, maybe. Just saying. I don't know. But anyway, so apart from that though, this system's pretty simple. The system itself is pretty simple once you get into it. there you go, it utilizes a Mark 1 auxiliary magazine, and then you can, you know, upgrade other systems like your shields, the reactor, the propulsion, the different weapons, and you can do it for your different suits as well. Some of them have plasma cannons and rocket launchers, others have rail guns, gamma ray lasers. The science guy has the chain gun, laser rifle, and pistol. That does not look like a pistol to me. It just all that kind of awesome stuff, which very much gives the player his own kind of custom opinion to it, and I quite like that in this. So if once you've spent time upgrading your ships, so for example my epic assault, I'm going to give my other characters a couple of upgrade rocket launcher, power amplifier, so it allows my power attack, and if we go over to the if we go over to the sniper, going to give him ray laser, bang, and then go to my science for his computer, and I'll give them that. Now that I've upgraded everything, yep. So now once I've done that, I can go over to my city map, and in the city map you also have an ability to have a look at the store. This basically is the place where you want to go to in order to buy new parts. Now of course with certain commanders these may be cheaper / more expensive, but you can tell by the different sort of stuff how effective it is. Pretty much like if you ever played an MMO, this is pretty much simple for you. If you've played stuff like Guild Wars, World of Warcraft, anything like that, this basically does the same thing. Just gives you a handy upgrade which makes your exosuit work a lot better. Now that we have had a look at the different kind of customization options, let's have a look at the variation of missions. Now in this game, one of the cooler aspects of this replayability is that whenever you start a campaign, you start off in different sectors of the city. When I first started off, when I was doing a test run, I started off down here at near the grasslands, a little bit too close to freedom, I know, but still. But then, you know, when I tried the game for the second time, I moved over to here for the first few missions, and then finally when I started this one, I'm now up to here, which is pretty awesome. I quite like that in this game. I like the variation in different environments, because now of course keeps you on your toes if you're used to playing around here, and then all of a sudden you completed that campaign, you think, oh, I fancy doing that again. You come up over to here and think, ah, okay, this is different and interesting. So with the missions, you have obviously your HQ and a variety of missions to go for front of. For example, two of these ones are blockades. So basically the robots have set up some kind of defenses to try and stop you from getting out, and in these missions it's quite simple. All you have to do is kill the robots. Now the objectives in this game are a little bit, once again I go back to the tutorial systems, but this is one of those things for me that's kind of a nagging, it's like a nag for me. It's like, because it doesn't tell you, I mean obviously if you put your mouse cursor over the top it tells you what you need to do, but there doesn't seem to be there doesn't seem to be much variation in the kind of objectives you're going for. I mean there is the occasional variation. For example, you've got you have the ability to fill up with mines and tripwires, and basically you've got to destroy the energy reactor to win, which is awesome. Or you have the ability to armory structure inside. But then apart from that, it's still quite the same, because you still just got to go around blowing stuff up and survive. Or the more common missions, just blow up robots, blow up blockades, blow up more robots, kill off enemy, assassinate enemy high-ranking generals, or knock out defenses. And although I'm not going to complain, because that makes things a hell of a lot easier for your character, I wouldn't have minded having an extra kind of thing. Like for example, the robots are attacking this point and we've got to defend it because there are civilians trapped in a subway or something. That would have been nice. Or you need to retrieve a part from, well, in a sense you are retrieving parts, but more like you have to retrieve I don't know, a power core simulator from this, and you've got to go from your HQ and come back, a bit like what is it, Space Hulk or something like that from 40k. Something which just adds like a bit of a, right, you need to bring this back so we can build you this. That kind of sounds awesome. I mean, you can do that with some levels, but there doesn't seem to be much of an impetus to really try and go out and do stuff. But, you know, I don't mind just being told to blow shit up. That's one of the things I enjoy a lot of. But anyway, so with these blockades and missions, as you can tell, the blockades are stopping me from going on to complete these other missions. And of course, if I had a certain type of commander, I may not have to worry about blockades, and I could quite simply shoot over to the other side and capture that point there, or go over to complete that mission there. But as I haven't, let's try out this mission here, the blockade mission, which is quite simple: blow shit up and kill all enemy robots. I think I can do that. Right, so here is the mission. Here's the hot tips thing again, and basically it tells you how to play the game in a rough form, like, okay, this is the controls, this is what you got to do, this is the turn, this is how it all runs. One of the cool features about another little interesting features is the levels are kind of randomly generated. There is variations in the design, which does keep you on your toes, and it also makes things tactically very interesting. Now, this is your character down here. You can zoom out all the way up here, or you can zoom down right the way down here. And how you control your character is quite simple. The WASD keys, that's pretty cool. Also, you've got... so the banging is being annoying now. Basically, in this game, with the turn-based strategy, as it says on the hot tips, everything you do is an action. From moving your character, to shooting a weapon, to using an ability, all that sort of stuff. Now this also is kind of cool because you've got a field of vision where obviously you can't see. So for example, I can't see up there, which is highlighted by these weird paraply sort of crosshairs stating, hey, you can't see up there. No shit, game, but whatever. You needed someone to tell. And this is where also the different classes of vehicle really come into their own. Because I've got my assault vehicle, I've got a whole bunch of weapons which are pretty much the same. You've got a massive explosive power, you've got a plasma rifle which blows up stuff, you've got a grenade launcher which is this thing's specialty, you've also got a light machine gun which is your stereotypical defense, and then you've got a laser rifle which makes individual units, as it says, go away. For the siege character, you've got the big guns, you've got the missile launcher, you've got the torpedo launcher, the plasma cannon, all those sort of fancy pants weaponry. You've got the sniper who has the ability to blow shit up from a very long distance. You've got the plasma rifle once again, a laser rifle that destroys enemy foes, and you've got the gamma ray laser which has a very long range to it. And then you've got the science guy who can hack and spot targets from a distance. So you can see there, my character has a very good radar system, which has been able to show me where all the enemy robots are, which is really cool. You can also see where some locked doors are. So there's a locked door. Is that a locked door? No. Oh, that's another door. Okay, fair enough. Is there a locked door anywhere? No, I guess not. Oh, but you can see a computer. So you can see there's a terminal which has been special, which means if I wanted to go over there and utilize it, I need to get my science guy over there to hack it, and we might get some important information. Beforehand, let's just utilize a dude and let's blow shit up. So, get my rocket launcher. That's my firing range, so I need to move a little closer. And can I still shoot? Nope, got to move it a little closer. Can I get a little closer? Yes, I can. And right click to fire. Right, I'm going to turn the settings down because that probably made a few of you deaf. There we go. Right. Now I'm just going to move my character, and as you can see, the enemy robot there. There is the enemy robot. Nice and pinky, because that's very macho. So let's get my laser rifle out and start shooting him. He's down. Another cool feature of this game, which I find rather funny, is the humour that this game portrays. I do find some of the stuff the robot says to be quite hilarious. Oh, makes you almost feel sorry for these things. Right, let's just set my missile launchers to go. Where am I? I am the siege engineer, right? No, now I am. Right, can I target these things? Yes, I can. All these things are gone, so let's get my machine gun out again. Bang, he's gone. Oh, that's a fuel tank. You do not want one of those. Right, here it is. There's a locked door, so I'll get my science creature out, 8XO out, and I go to the door, I hack it, and now I've got some loot, which is awesome. Another cool thing, which actually kind of, for all you guys out there who want to take their time with this thing, you actually have the ability in the settings to have how fast the game goes when you use your turn. So that way you can either have it really slow, so that when you move your character once, they move their character like a couple of times, and then it protracts the game out a lot longer, but it gives you the best tactical options. By the way, the mines can hurt the enemy as much as they can hurt you, which is funny. Let's get my assault character out again. Get his machine guns. Shoot that sort of thing. Let's go to my science dude again. What can I do? I'm going to use a hacking point, and it's just ah! Oh yeah, the enemy dudes are killing themselves over there. Right, I'm going to move. Apparently they're all shooting each other. I have no idea why. Boom! See, they're being... Right, what's going on up here? Probably going to end up being spotted. Oh, shit! Boom! Right, I'm going to be careful, because that's probably going to cause a lot of destruction. Right, nope, we're all good. And there's another locked door, so let's go to science. Get this. Booyah! And we'll go down south. Right. Because I'm a lazy ass, I'm just going to frag the area. There we go. And we've killed all the enemy robots in the level, which is awesome. So now what I need to do is I just need to go over to this terminal, because I am ever so curious. Hack the terminal, and I get nothing. That's great. And so now I go onto this, and booyah!
Focus on either making yourself stronger or the bots weaker.
No shit.
When that bot army finishes massing and attacks, it needs to be your strength against their weakness.
Yeah, this guy's kind of creepy at times. As much as he sounds like Morgan Freeman, he does sound creepy. But yeah, basically now, now that I've done a mission, a day has passed, and now I have 49 days to complete objectives, annihilate enemy positions, and just generally cause havoc to the enemy robot army. Also, this little informational thing lets you know on how many enemy robots there are, and also how many you'll have to face. So that's pretty much it for this game. Thank you very much for watching. This is my first ever review, so if you'd like it, feel free to leave a comment in the section down below. Click on the like button. If you like this kind of content enough to subscribe, once again, feel free to click on the subscribe button. Any kind of feedback is great. I might have missed out a couple of features. I do apologize if I have, but as I've said, this is my first ever review of a game, so I hope I've done it justice. And as that, I should have said this before, I give this game a 7 out of 10. It's difficult to get into, but once you've gotten into it, it's so much fun. The objectives, okay, they're not great, and they're not there's not much variation. A tutorial system would have been fantastic, just so that way you can get a much better bearings on the game. It's still good, it's still fun, and as I said, once you get into it, you tend to forget about the tutorials, and you just have so much fun blowing the living shit out of robots. And let's face it, blowing robot stuff up is fantastic, because, you know what, there aren't enough games that do it, so this is an awesome thing for it. But yeah, if you like this kind of content, feel free to let us know, and by subscribing, by commentating, and showing the love, that'll be awesome. So thank you very much for watching. This is CrapHunter signing out. Catch you next time, guys.